Hello, my name's Greg, Soul Searching Gaijin. That's me. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to introduce a new concept. For the next handful of videos, I'm going to be taking you in the studio with me as I create my live set for the next show that I'm doing. It's been about a week since my first live electronic show ever, which is pretty crazy. And I learned a lot in that process. And one thing that I really realized is that you got to be prepared, man. And I really was not prepared. I went up on stage and improvised. I had a very short amount of time to prepare for that show, like less than 48 hours. And I still need to make YouTube videos. I don't want to neglect anything. So I kind of came up with a little solution this week, which I think will make things a little easier for my life. Essentially, what I'm going to be doing, let me get in here. I'm going to I have a little video switcher, which I acquired this week, which you can kind of see as I'm bouncing around here. I have a few different angles, a few different things going on. So what I want to do is, as opposed to editing video, which is pretty time consuming and has really nothing to do with music, though I do really enjoy it, I am going to do my best to just record a stream. And then if I can get this all worked out, eventually I would like to do some live streaming. But this is just going to make it much easier for me. So I really want to focus on just creating music for the set for the next show that I have, which is November 9th in Kobe. And I really don't have anything really prepared yet. So like I said, I want to bring you along in the process. Hopefully you can learn something along the way. So I'm going to go over really quickly today what is in the setup, what's changed, and maybe some of the issues that I'm having. And hopefully I won't knock these cameras out. So let's go over to here. No, this is not the one I want. I want to go over to this one. Oh, see, I knocked the camera. There you go. Already. Oh my God, guys, I am not a pro at any of this, so please don't hold it against me. I'm doing my best. There's so much that I've had to learn this week. So, the new setup. If you remember from my last video, I had Digitact here up in this location. I had a Soma Cosmos looper pedal over here. And off to the right on this side, I had a Soma Terra, which was really great for improvising. I had some issues with the Cosmos, volume issues. I really couldn't hear. When I turned it up loud enough, I was getting distortion. So I've added a little blue box, which I've had for a while, but this is like essentially a little mixing board. So right now I have the Mini Freak going into that, so I can kind of really adjust my volumes going into my sound card a little bit better. And if I ever want to along the line, I can add a little guest instrument over here that I want to add into the setup. But right now I kind of scaled it down to make it mainly about this box here and this keyboard here. So let me see if we got some music. Yes, we hear some music. This is actually one of the patterns that I was using on, I'll turn this down a little, I think it's a little loud. One of the patterns that I was using on the live show, it's just drastically different because I just tweaked it quite a bit. And then I actually added in Syntact over here. And then we can add some crazy sound. Sound is awesome. That sound is awesome. Let me go to my MIDI channel and select a different MIDI channel, something a little more mellow. There you go. So I got a nice little piano going on. I can layer the piano with a little bit of this Mini Freak over here. I can go to a different MIDI channel and selected different sounds, which is nice. I have a few sounds hooked up. I should put my glasses on for this, but I'm not going to. Input channel, let's go. This is my favorite sound. Check this one out. That's a massive, so intense, very massive sound. So yeah, so these sounds, by the way, are coming from AUM. This is something, okay, let me hop over here. This is something that actually changed this week. I was having a lot of issues with Cubasis on iPad and just didn't really love the sound of it and some of the limitations that it had. And so I stumbled across AUM. Well, didn't really stumble. I've been following it for a while. One of a guy who subscribed to me, Crazy Wabbit, uses AUM all the time. I watch a lot of his stuff, and it just really kind of turned me onto it. I was like, well, what is this thing? This looks super cool. So I did some research, and I just found it's much more powerful, configurable, stable. I just really dig it. It's got a lot of options in it. And so at the moment, I am using it in place of Cubasis. So I have set up over here really quickly what I got. My main over here. Blue, green, and purple are reverb, delay, and a granular effect. And they're all set up as sends. Then my next two channels, the two gray channels over here, are my input 1 and 2, and then input 3 and 4 for my sound card. So on input 1 and 2, I have the black box, which is giving me...
What kind of a dream is this?
Ah,
Well, I would call it
little
a
one-shots.
state of hypnosis.
It's giving me one-shots, and that's rooted to the inputs of the inputs of the syntax, which is going out into the digitact, which is going in on channel 1 and 2. So that's my input 1 and 2 on my first AUM track over there. And on 2, I have, let's turn all these down. Okay, I have the Micro Freak. Okay, and like I said, that's going through the black box, which allows me to add something else later on. Then I have the Fader Fox controlling up here. This is controlling my volumes in AUM. You should be able to, yes, you can see that. Isn't that beautiful? And one other thing that I had figured out yesterday, I had a 2.5-hour conference call learning all about AUM and how to configure it with my Digitact. I just really needed a little bit of help. I was kind of lost. And I've already messed up a little bit of what we did yesterday. I did have, if you can see these, well, you can't, the effect sends on my instrument tracks in AUM. I had them mapped yesterday to the Digitact. So I could actually come over here. Let me see if I can get this up. And oh, I knocked that out again. I gotta do a better job with that. Okay, so over on the Digitact, if I go to this pattern, I go to track 13, you'll see up here, these were at one point mapped to my sends, which you see they're not moving in AUM. Oh, I just turned that one off. That was dumb. Okay, we'll deal with that in a moment. I have to figure that out. I added in the Fader Fox to get the volumes, which are working, but that knocked out my other MIDI implementation. So that's something I do need to figure out. So that's pretty much my setup at the moment. In AUM, I have 4 different sounds. I have a piano, I have a flute, and I have those 2 crazy kind of like sound effect sounds. And they're all rooted to reverb, delay, and granular effect. And then at the end, I have Loopy Pro, which we went over this before, is not running in sync. Let me see if I just start that. I should be able to, there you go. So I can just start and stop that at will. I have that pretty much playing the whole show, and all I got to do is bring the volume up as I wanted to bring it out. I want to get more implementation with that in the future, but at the moment, I have enough to deal with. I just want to really focus on creating. Oh, let's go back over here. I just really want to focus on creating some music, and really just take my head out of the learning space, stop thinking about the best way to what I'm going to take on stage. I'm really comfortable with the Electron units, mind you, except for the Octatrack. And I feel really good with this setup. And I just really want to get down and start to make some music. So that's what these next few videos are going to be about. Hopefully, like I said, it'll be much easier for me to be more consistent with uploads. And I don't have to worry about what video am I going to make this week. I don't have to worry about neglecting my YouTube channel. I can just really settle in and get to learn this setup really well, so I'm comfortable for my next show. And as I said, in the process, hopefully you can learn quite a bit from seeing how I go about it. I'm going to be making the music from scratch. I mean, I do have some templates that I've already set up in here. I've done some work, some pre-production work. I have my own custom samples in there. I have a lot of things to choose from. I just really need to create music and get a little bit better with the syntax and get more comfortable in AUM and figure out all the kinks. So I'm sure a lot of that stuff is going to pop up along the way. I'll do my best to get the video to look as good as it can. I'm recording from OBS, which eventually, like I said, I would like to live stream from. I'm trying to work out the issues with the sounds. I'm using microphones from what are those microphones? Rode wireless microphones to try to, so you can hear what I'm talking about here. Trying not to have too much noise in there, too much of a noise floor, but nothing's perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. I just really would rather you get some value and inspiration out of this, so you could try to do this for yourself, because I found performing live super rewarding. It's just great for your confidence, for meeting people. Even though I wish I had a second chance at that show, man. I really didn't do too good. I pulled it off. My hands weren't trembling, though inside I was a little freaked out and lost most of the time. It was a really good experience, and something I'm very glad that I did on the spur of the moment and didn't say no to out of fear, and just said, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it. Excuse my language. Yes, face your fears. It's a big thing. Don't be afraid of learning. Don't be afraid of putting things out that aren't perfect. As you can see, there's so much. Like if we just go to a different camera, I'm sure something's out of focus. See, where are we at? See, I lost that. So see, perfect. This one ran out of batteries, this camera over here, because this is the second time I'm doing this video. The first time I did it, the quality was absolutely horrendous. Loaded it on YouTube and I saw the process. I was like, this is not acceptable. Hopefully this is a little bit better. Like I said, I really don't know these programs so much, and this is part of what I want to show you is it's okay to fumble through things and learn as you go. Don't be afraid of just learning as you go, and putting yourself out there. You'd be surprised at what the energy that comes back. I've said this many, many times. All right, so I'm not really prepared to do any music for you today. I've been really just this whole week figuring out this setup, and I have a little bit more to do in the next couple days just to work out a few kinks, make sure the video stuff is working the way I want it to. And in another few days, I'm actually feeling a little under the weather, man. It became fall here in Osaka, and it went from super hot to a little cold, hence the hoodie. And my body's just not loving that, so I think I'm probably going to take the rest of today and just take a nice nap, get some rest. And in the next couple days, I will do my first session on this, and it'll be basically, as you see here, probably, I'm going to try to keep it within a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. I don't think the cameras have much longer battery life than that. And we'll see where things go from there. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out if you made it through the whole video. Yeah, check out the next one. I think there'll be something of value in it for you. All right, take care, y'all. See you soon.